more important than, honestly, more important than most things besides like escapes, like submission escapes and confident escapes and things like that, okay? The main reason because it is the easiest way to off-balance your opponent. If you don't know what you're doing, if you have no idea how to do jiu-jitsu, but you're really good at getting your opponent to try to constantly catch his balance, that's how you make a strong man weak, and that's how you make someone who's good at jiu-jitsu bad at jiu-jitsu, because they can't focus on applying any technique to you. They're only focused on maintaining their balance so that they don't fall down before making a mistake. Does that make sense to you guys? So Gary Boletto put this perfectly. Gary Boletto, so he owns the Bat Center I was telling you about it out there. So he's a good friend of mine. He owns Jimmy Cranston. He's a professional MMA fighter. He actually has 2 titles right now for CBS, both weight and middleweight. So he's good. He's very good. And he tells me all the time, if you're very good at getting an angle on your opponent and getting your opponent off balance, you can suck it. Like you can have the worst 1-2 in the world. You can have the worst rear naked choke in the world, but you're gonna win. You're gonna finish people. The reason being because the entire time they don't know where you are. They don't know where you're gonna go next, and they're also trying to catch their balance the whole time. So I can win. So like for example, when I'm right here and I'm fighting and I'm defending against this guy, okay, I can't really. We're equal. We're at equal opportunity, and I'm facing him. He's facing me. At this point, this is only a battle of who's tougher. This is a stupid fight. Okay, if I take this fight, this is a dumb fight. But now if I do something like this, who's winning? Me. All because I got him off balance. Does that make sense? Stand up real quick, man. I am no striking coach. I want to make that loud and clear. So don't take this and go tell Steve that I said this. All right, like at the end of the day, I don't know what I'm doing. But Gary taught me when I was taking some striking classes with him, if I'm fighting someone here, it's all about who's faster, who's better, who's got more crisp technique, blah, blah, blah. Stay right there, don't move. If I'm fighting someone here, I can slap him, I can have the worst technique in the world and I can still win, okay? Because he has to turn and face me first before he does anything. So that's what it's called being one step ahead. Who here has ever heard of someone say stay one step ahead? Okay? Nobody ever fucking explains what that means. What that means is, I am in a position where Manny has to do something first, exactly in order to start defending himself. That's called being one step ahead. So if you ever watch Gary Boletto, not to make this about Gary, anybody who's really good at cutting angles and off balancing people, the way that they fight, they come here, hit their strikes, then they're over on the other side. They're constantly fighting that angle. Does that make sense? Conor McGregor is great at this, and he has a strong left hand too. So that goes to show the fate that he got in the UFC. The same thing is going to apply to jiu-jitsu. If I'm grappling with Manny, I get a good grip on the man, right? Let's say I take this arm, I get a good grip on the man, and now I come across and I get a good angle, and I'm able to off balance him. Look where he is and look where I am. I'm gonna fuck this guy up. I can do whatever I want to this guy. Does that make sense? So, what does this all mean about hook sweeps? The hook sweep is the best way to get a good angle and get your opponent off balance all at the same time. Okay, it's an extremely easy technique to do. All I need is Manny kneeling, or he can even be up on one foot, doesn't matter. Whatever way you guys want, all I need is a foot on the inside. Once I have a foot on the inside, I'm going to be able to hit a hook sweep. You may better go down that hook sweep. For the first part of today's technique, I'm not going to show you guys the full hook sweep, I just want to give you guys an idea of what we're doing. I'm going to start off with both of my feet hooked on the inside of Manny's thighs. When I hook my feet, like a fish hook, like this, my feet are pulled back towards my knees, my toes are splayed, okay, and I have a good, strong foot angle. I do not want this. Okay, we call this ballet feet, we call this jiu-jitsu feet. Okay, obviously there are some exceptions to the rule. I do this in jiu-jitsu sometimes, but for the most part, this is where you want to be, especially when you're playing guard and you're looking off balance your opponent. So here from the bottom position, I'm going to have 2 feet on the inside of Manny's thighs for now. You can very easily do this with one leg. We'll go over that another time. Once I have 2 feet hooked on the inside, I'm going to get a good grip on my opponent. For today, we're going to take up grips. So my thumb is going up in the air, grabbing Manny's wrist. If you guys do it this way, it's not going to work. I'm going to rock that, and he's going to post on my chest, and the whole technique is going to be for nothing. If I go like this, though, it's going to be easier for me to throw his hands up and over my head, because that's the goal for this technique for right now. Now, the next part is the most important part. I have to take my butt, and I have to shove my butt all the way towards my knees. Okay? I cannot do a hook sweep by leaning back and pulling this guy in. It's not going to happen, especially if you're going with a really strong guy. Okay, so if I'm going with somebody who's really big, I'm not going to be able to just take them off of their base, pull them up and over me, especially if there's somebody like Dan Cormier or any of us even. Like, don't get me wrong, everybody here is in good shape, we're all muscular, but we're not fucking 300-pound dudes. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, exactly.
You're from me, bro. I'm only 163 pounds, bro.
Yeah, right. But you get my point, though. You see what I'm saying? So with this, grab the up grips on the opponent's wrist, bring the ass towards the heels like this. Now I'm ready to roll back. You guys see how I'm barely balanced? The reason being is because I turned myself into a ball. Now I need to roll back. But when I roll back, I keep Manny on my shins and I put his hands over my head. And I'm gonna maintain his balance over here on my shins. Okay? And then from here, the world is my oyster. I can bring this guy over here, or I can hunt for legs. If you guys know me, you know I like leg locks. That's my go-to technique to try to get a leg lock the most. Okay. So the first part, hooks inside of your opponent's thighs, up grips on the wrist. We're going to scoop our butt in. As we scoop our butt in, we're going to throw our opponent up and over us. Boom, like this. Let him balance on your thighs. Don't worry about dumping him over. I'll be real, that was an accident. Just worry about floating him for a second. Get comfortable with people floating on your shins, and then rock him back into position. One more time, ready? And then he's up. Right? So here, hooks on the inside of the thighs. Grab the wrist. I'm going to scoot in, bring him back, bring him forward. Oh, well, I missed the scoop, sorry. Scoot in, back. Good. When I'm ready, bring him forward. Scoot in, back, forward. Scoot like 2 to 3 times. Get comfortable with it. All right, and that's going to give you guys kind of like the muscle memory, so to speak, so that you can actually do a real hook scoop and turn into whatever it's going to do. Okay? Any questions?
Mike, a quick comment.
Yeah.
Something that I know you did it a while back with the keep
Yeah.
arching you back like a rocking chair in the beginning, so that you don't get to land flat on your back right away. So
You don't want to do that.
you're not gonna have this like that. So you want to kind of rock. Yeah, that. You're gonna rock your back.
All right. So the entire time you see me or Evan, Drew, sweeps, there's a few of us that play this kind of game. Whenever you see us grapple, you're going to constantly see this. We're here. We're looking to get our one foot in the middle of between our opponent's legs, and as soon as we do, it's shoot roll. Okay? That's a technique you really got to get used to. It's super fucking easy. I mean, children do it. You guys do it. All right. Let's give it a shot, guys. Go with some groups. Let's do 2, 2, 3, 2, 1.
I'll come over here and see my